We are recording. Hello everybody, welcome to another Jed Talks, and today I'm with a dear friend who I've known for, we can't remember how many years, can we, Sheela? I've got Sheela Hagan with me. Welcome, Sheela.
Hi. It's lovely to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me, Jackie.
You're welcome.
It's lovely.
You're welcome. And as I say, Sheela and I have been friends for so many years we can't actually remember when we first met, but it would have been at some function or event that we were both at, or even running, because Sheela has also run lots of lovely events, including Lightworker lunches, which were fabulous. You could go and have a lunch and there'd be a speaker and you'd get to chat to loads of lovely people. And of course in lockdown it's not happening, but maybe it will. We're looking forward to that in the future. And also during lockdown, Sheela has been running quiz nights, and I've been on a few. And I haven't won. It's far too intelligent for me. And I remember all the ones I did go on. I'd be looking forward to the music round, because that's something that I am pretty good at, especially 80s and 90s music, 70s, 80s and 90s. And there was one that I remember, it always sticks in my mind, this when I think of your quiz nights, Sheela, that we were given the line of a song. And I immediately think, oh yeah, I know that. It was, well, the song was, her mind is Tiffany twisted, she gets the Mercedes Benz. And I think, oh, I know that. It's Hotel California. And then the question was, write the next line. what are the next 7 words? And there you are, singing it through in your head, and I just couldn't get it. I could sing the rest of the song, and of course by that time we were on to the next question.
Yes, yeah. Oh.
So
they're always good fun. Yeah, just a bit of good fun.
Oh, it was. Yeah. You know, that I used to really love that. So if you know the next line to that bit of the song, you can put it in the comments. So I'm going to hand over to Sheela. She's going to tell you a little bit of what she does with her one-to-one readings and meditations, and a little bit of the work she does with Michael's house, which is again a really good cause. So I'm going to be quiet now for a bit, Sheela. Over to you.
Well, just picking up on what you were saying about the quiz nights, because I do run the quiz nights every now and then, and it's usually either by donation or a small fee, which goes directly to Michael House. Michael House is a homeless shelter in Boscombe, and I've been their ambassador now for about 5 or 6 years. And basically I'm their fundraiser. And of course we do the cash raffles online. It's a 50-50, so £50 somebody wins and £50 goes directly to Michael House, and that's a bit of fun as well. And I'm all about having a bit of fun. Why not? Life.
Yes. Goodness, we need it right now, don't we?
We do indeed. Yeah. So we talked about doing a little mini reading, Jackie, and if you'd like to, we could do, just to show people how it works on Zoom, because it does work very well on Zoom. So I use the angel cards. I'll show you the back of them. You're probably more familiar with that side.
Yes.
And if I have to shuffle on your behalf. Okay. So if I start shuffling, you tell me when to stop, and then I'll take the top card and we'll just see what comes up and do a little mini reading for you.
Now.
Okay, and the card that comes up is intention.
And I was just saying I'm going to put my intention into this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it can't ever be wrong, can it? And this angel card tells me at the moment that you're quite content in your little, in your cocoon, in your bubble. Yes, in your bubble. And inside your bubble is lovely. It's whatever you want to make it, and you're very conscious about intention, and you're bringing in intention into your bubble at all times. However, there is a message here for you to expand a little bit further out, break out of that bubble as much as you can, and it will happen in the future, and it's all around communication.
Oh, that's interesting, isn't it?
So it's asking you to reach out with intention and balance outside your normal comfort zone.
Okay.
Does that make sense to
Yeah,
you?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. And there's a lot going on around with the microcurrent frequencies that I'm involved in, where I am constantly out of my comfort zone with the marketing. I'm being
and does that involve some communication as well?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that's perfect then.
To speak to people that I don't know. So
lovely. So that's how card readings work online, and I always do a little mini card reading at my meditation group. So after we've done a guided channeled meditation and had a little share and a chat, then everyone gets to choose a card in exactly the same way that we just did there. If I'm doing a private reading, I obviously again shuffle on someone's behalf when I lay down the cards in front of me. I might show people what the card is, but I essentially got them here in front of me. But again, it's all about intention, because if I set the intention to pick the right card for you when you say stop, that still works. And I was very nervous about doing it when we first went into lockdown last year. Seems a long time ago now.
Yes.
And I was nervous about doing meditations online, where I've always been used to having a group of people at my home. But, it's all about intention. And when you set your intention, it just comes together as it's supposed to do. So, I've been really, really fortunate in maintaining the spiritual development group and the meditations and so on. And we did one last night, actually, on manifesting money.
Right, yeah.
So who doesn't need a little bit of extra money? So and that worked very well. We talked about some of the blocks that people have, some of people's fears around money. We're brought up sometimes with money's evil, and in fact somebody said in the group, my father used to say, it's part of the filthy rich. And I sort of thought, oh, filthy, fancy associating filthy with money. We've probably all heard that. And it sets your intention, it sets it in your aura of what you're focusing on negatively, and that's what the universe will send back to you, more of that negativity. So it's really interesting. I'm very passionate about manifesting and the law of attraction, the law of truth as well, as we say in Theta, but it's the same thing. So I'm having a great time actually in lockdown.
Yes, and maybe just by changing that that belief, that intention around money, to clean money instead of filthy money, that can make such a huge difference.
Absolutely. And it's surprising how the language that we use in every day or makes such an impact about how we feel about something, and then how we feel about something is what we're then drawing to us. So just be aware of the language around whatever it is that you're wanting to manifest. If it's money, then when you say I can't afford something, that sets your intention that there's no way you're going to have that, because you don't want it, you can't have it, because you're saying I can't afford it, instead of saying I choose not to buy it, I choose this instead.
The language is
just
so
tweaking the language is amazing, and has amazing results.
And getting into a new way of thinking. So you do the law of attraction meditations, do you, workshops?
Workshops and meditations. Meditations can be focused, like manifesting money, or about creating a calmer, peaceful, healthier life, whatever it is that we're talking about. But also I do online law of attraction groups, because we all sort of understand the basics of the law of attraction, and yet get frustrated because sometimes it doesn't work. And so I unpick that, and I've developed 5 easy steps to manifesting what you want. And if you go through those 5 steps, it will happen. It will happen.
So is this a course over a period of weeks? Do you do one?
No, I usually do that in one session.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that would
So,
be like a one-to-one or a group session.
yeah, the group on Zoom. It's all on Zoom, and then we perhaps do what I call a dip in and dip out session. So a lot of people have come through doing the law of attraction, the 5-step program, as it were, and so it's useful to re-establish it, to realign yourself with it, and remind yourself of how important it is to set those intentions and to feel your way rather than think it. You know,
Yeah.
the universe responds to how we feel much more positively than how we think. Yeah.
So you're bringing it through with an emotion, you're feeling, where you have an idea of what it is you want to achieve, and then you feel into what that would feel like.
That's it. You got
it. Yeah. Yeah.
The thing is, often people will have a block, and they'll, for example, they'll say, we've all had this conversation, haven't we, where we've said, if I won the lottery, I would do this, this, and this. So we all talk like that, don't we? We've all had that conversation.
Yeah.
And yet, somewhere in that conversation, there's a but. But in my case, I say, but I don't actually play the lottery. So, so that wipes out whatever you say after the but, wipes out all your good intentions, all your positive thoughts, all your upbeat, enthusiastic talk is wiped out when you say the word but.
Yeah. I get that, because people are hanging on the but, but what's next? And then that's the bit they're engaged.
It's so lovely when I work with clients and groups and so on, to watch people have that light bulb moment where they think, oh yeah, I get it, I absolutely get it, and then the next minute they're on the phone to me saying, Sheila, you'll never guess what's happened. And I say, go on then. It's so lovely. It's really lovely.
So shifting past those blocks, and sometimes we don't even know we've got those blocks.
That's right. Which is interesting you say that, because that can be a lifetime of uncovering, of therapy, of treatments and so on. But I've actually devised a way in meditation to release those blocks, whether you know what they are or not. And that's really, really useful. So we don't always know exactly what those blocks are. If we do know what the blocks are, or we're willing to explore a real self-development process, then I use Theta Healing for that, which is a way of combining muscle testing to have your answers, and then taking all that information up to divine source and commanding that it's changed for that client's highest good. It sounds a bit woo-woo, but it's actually very powerful. Very powerful.
I have heard of Theta. I think I have done some work on that in the past. As you say, it's very powerful, and to do with the brain waves too, isn't it? The Theta.
That's right. When we're in a theta, we're very rarely in a theta state. We often we know about alpha and beta and delta when we're asleep or when we're in meditation, but theta is a deeper state than that. And in theta, you are energy. You just feel yourself disappear into energy, and sometimes you will achieve that in meditation almost unconsciously or subconsciously. When we go into that space of the light. Have you ever experienced that?
Actually, you mentioned that I was doing some breath work, some group breath work the other day, and I was laying on my bed in the meditation, and I felt like I was levitating, and I could not feel the surface under my back at all. So I was maybe dipping in and out of the conscious state, but because I was aware that I was floating.
Well, that's possibly you just experiencing theta, and in theta you're just so powerful, and you are connected directly to divine source energy, to that part of you, that unconditional love part of you that is part of source energy, and it's just so powerful. And theta healers in that state work on the client's behalf to command that those blocks are removed, released, healed, and sent into the ether.
Yeah, that's much what was going on. And one of the blocks I was removing, something all through my life. I think my gran used to say it when I was a kid, and if I'd ask for something, because I was always after the Dairy League triangles with my gran. She always got me Dairy League triangles. And, I always used to. She would say, "Ask us, never get." And it's a phrase that's probably ran all through my life. And subconsciously, I never asked for anything, because I think, oh well, ask us, never get. So I'm not going to ask for it. I'll wait until it's offered.
That's right. Yeah, so powerful. Those phrases that are taught to us in childhood, are so powerful, and they're still with us unless we actually release them.
Unless we become conscious of the impact that they're having.
Absolutely. I mean, this is really touching on inner child work as well, because by the time we're 5 years old, just imagine this, by the time we're 5 years old, we have learned most of what we're ever going to learn. We've learned how to deal with life. And that's the same, if you're in your 50s or 60s or 70s, you're still dealing with life the same way that you were before you were 5 years old.
And
that inner child in us, if there's any pain or hurt from those first early years, that is still with us too.
And what about ancestral patterns? Where do they fit in?
Ancestral patterns is the historic level of belief. When we're in Theta, we talk about core level, and then we go down to ancestral level, and then we go further down to history and to soul level. So there are 4 levels of belief. So the ancestral level is our parents, grandparents, our grandparents' parents, and so on and so on and so on. And that has an effect on our DNA. That actually changes our DNA. So that's where we come when we're born with, perhaps we're born with musical talent, let's say. And that musical talent has been programmed into our DNA through our ancestors. But also things like we might be attracted to moon energy. And that will be passed down through our ancestral, it's in our DNA.
And that's like going out then exponentially, isn't it? Like we're in the middle and we've got all the stuff going back, but the planetary stuff is out there. That's a different dimensional thing altogether.
It's just all so exciting, and all these different modalities, they all kind of blend together, really. We're all the intention is always the same, isn't it? To uplift people, to help people unblock, help people achieve what it is they want to achieve, whether it's health or finances or business or whatever it is, relationships, you name it. We get there, maybe many paths, but we get to the point of where we're wanting the same thing for our clients.
And sharing love.
Always comes back to love, doesn't it? Definitely.
Wow. Definitely. And the Lightworker lunches, they can happen on Zoom. You've done one?
Yes, I have done one on Zoom. I did one last, I think it was April or May.
That time we had another one then, Sheela.
Yes, it probably is. I'm always looking out. Here we are. I'll put it out there now. I'm always looking out for really impacting, uplifting, motivational speakers. So if there's anybody out there that thinks they would like to be a speaker at Lightworkers Lunch, let me know, and let's see if we can organise one.
Oh yeah.
We now call it a Munch Lunch because obviously we can't provide the lunch. So we have everyone sitting there with their lunch and their glass of wine, and it's all good fun.
And even if people are at work, I know many of us are working from home or not able to get into the office, but you still get a lunch break. So what a lovely way to spend your lunch break.
And with like-minded people, and that's where so many friendships have been made at Lightworkers Lunches in the past.
Yes.
Haven't they? With all different people, cemented friendships that maybe you've met people a couple of times, and just sharing food and sharing time and space with a like-minded soul. There's nothing better, is there?
No, I think it's crucial to our well-being, and how we gravitate to that person or to that group that we're needing at that time. And I love to see all that unfolding. And
yes, so maybe someone listening thinks, I've got a message, I've got something I'd like to share, and get in touch with me. And I'm on Facebook and so on, so get in touch with me, and let's see if we can make it happen.
Absolutely.
Maybe we should co-host one, Jackie. You and I do one.
Yeah, shall we?
Yeah. Why not?
Okay.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Let's do it. As I think now, with this last year that we've had, more than ever, we need this connection with like-minded souls, and thank goodness for Zoom and social media, and as much as we might want to back against the social media regime, as it were, because for some people it's not been that brilliant, but used in the right way, for the right purpose, the right intention, we can move mountains.
Absolutely. It's all about intention. And who'd have thought it? Certainly, where are we? We're mid-February at the moment, so this time last year I'd only just heard of Zoom. Like many other people. How many people out there ever had used Zoom before? For me, it was a brand new experience and a huge learning curve. And I'm fairly okay with Zoom now. Especially now my friend Jackie has just told me how to upload it to YouTube. Fantastic. So
isn't it? We learn these things, and how little bits work. And for me, I'm not technically minded, so to just jump in and try and do something, like upload a video to Zoom, it's not going to happen. It has to happen in little small bits, and then once you've got the technique, then I'm able to teach other people now. So
yes, fantastic. Well, there's another opportunity. Perhaps we should do a Zoom tutorial or something in real language.
Yes.
It's much easier to understand when you're chatting with someone than it is to read through all the instructions, isn't it?
And step by step, and have a laugh.
And that's how really step by step, isn't it? It's how we unfold ourselves in society, in our life, opening opportunities for personal satisfaction, for success, for love, for relationship, opening our heart chakras, whatever it is that you want to do, step by step. That first step is always the most powerful, really, and then to keep going with it,
and with intention,
of course. Yes, that's lovely.
Wonderful card this morning. That's it. That couldn't have been more perfect, really, for where I am right now.
I know, that's it. It's always fascinating that the cards always show up exactly the right time and the right place for the right person, don't they?
Wow. So thank you so much, Sheela, for sharing what you do with us. And if you want to donate, anyone wants to donate to Michael's House, the homeless charity in Bournemouth, then get in touch with Sheela, or get on a quiz night, or any other, the cash raffles, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. It's quite exciting because you do those live, don't you? You draw the number.
Oh yes. That's a really fun way. I started that about a year ago, just as we went into lockdown, and we've raised just about £3,000 now, at £50 a go. So the cash raffles are £2 for a number, and £1 goes to Michael House and £1 goes to the winner. So each week, 50 numbers, somebody wins £50 and £50 goes to Michael House. So it's win-win.
Yeah, that's lovely. So I will put Sheila's details up underneath where how you can contact her. And so lovely to speak to you, Sheela.
Thank you so much, Jackie. Thank you so much for inviting me. It's been a pleasure. And all the very best.
So thank you all for watching and listening. Another Jed Talks coming along very soon. So lots of love to everybody, and take care. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.